Hello. Good morning, everybody. This is going to be like a 1 hour session on bringing your business online. Now, a lot of times you see that people don't have idea on what they should do in order for their business to thrive, especially in the times we all know last year how COVID-19 really taught us a lot of lessons on how to do business online. Before now, people were so used to the conventional, okay, I walk into a shop, I go shopping, push the trolley around and then you pick whatever you want and then you go to the counter and then you pay. That's good enough, you understand. But in recent times, you find out that COVID-19 has really made it very difficult for everyone all over the world, not only in Nigeria, but even in developed countries. You see that people are actually, you know, just if people are, okay, I don't want to go out because nobody knows who and who is infected. So that made it impossible for people to, really interact. So there was the need for everyone to go online, and then most big businesses they decided to start doing okay the online shopping more. You see big businesses like the Sainsbury's, the Warburtons, all the big shops, even in Nigeria, the Jumias, the GG, and all of them, they saw it as an avenue now that they should use to, do, and then you started seeing a lot of logistics companies and all that. But when it comes to a business, the layman, the businessman, average businessman, maybe the Igbo man that just wants to sell one or two things that he has. Yeah, how do you do that when you already have a shop? You've invested all your money and everything. Now, there are many ways you can actually bring your business online. We are going to be looking at that, and then we're going to look at the requirements. Now, the number one thing that you need to know is that uh, we have this technologies called social media, examples of Facebook, the Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, and all of them. We started seeing that a lot of these they became more prominent. People began to go online more during the COVID-19 period. So when you have a social media, it's not just to come online and send messages to friends and family and all that. You can actually use it as a medium to do your business. Like in that time, you began to see that a lot of people you know they started doing a lot of their businesses online. And now, take for example, we started seeing Facebook business, Facebook marketplace, you know, we started seeing the likes of the GG, the the GG, the Jumia, all other, shops. They started going online. So when you have your social media, you can link it to your business. But how do you do this? How do you do this? You do it you do it in many ways. You could paid ads. You see on Instagram, sometimes you go on, you see that there are adverts that are being displayed on Instagram. You see Facebook ads. You see, or with a little amount of money, you can reach a number of people in a certain area, depending on where you want to, where the people you want to reach. Um, Secondly, you can do you know graphic designs and then you post them on your wall, when people see it and then they begin to ask questions, then you can now begin to explain yourself, and then you know you strike your business however you want to. But then I just want to talk about three things: the domain name, the web hosting, and the website. Now, one of the ways of bringing your business online is by having a website. Now, when you have a website is a website is gives you an enabling environment that you can actually have to yourself whenever time people can go in, and you make sales as much as you want. During the COVID-19 time, there was this American company, it's a gaming company. It was so surprising to see that people were actually playing games, even more, that the company was able to raise up to $1 billion during a time when people were saying that, okay, there was scarcity, there was this, in Nigeria, we saw a lot of things that were happening, but God will help us. Yeah, so we actually, before you talk about having a website, you must have a domain name. Now, what is a domain name? A domain name is your address on the internet. The same way in, maybe probably if you stay in Abuja, how you have this so 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 street, maybe you stay in number 9 Gwandara Street. When anybody comes to number 9 Gwandara Street, they should be able to see you there. So your domain name is like your address online. When you have an address online, whenever anybody goes to his system or the person's on his mobile phone, because a lot of people use their phones nowadays even more than they use laptops. Yeah, so anybody that goes online and types that domain name should be able to see you online. We are going to get to that. Now, normally domain names are supposed to be domain names are supposed to be your identity online. Whatever your business name is, they should be able to type it on a system, and then they will see it and know that this is you based on what you tell them that you do. If I say I'm a hairstylist, the name of my hairstyle it is Tim's Hairs. Now, if anybody goes online and type Tim's Hairs, the person. Now we're talking about domain names. Now there are different types of domain names. Every country has its peculiar domain name. Like in the UK, as of the last time we checked, every house is supposed to have one landline, and that landline is supposed to be attached to a domain. And then by the time you go online, if you type any address, you'll see that okay, it is linked to a domain, that which is the .uk. Now, from statistics, it shows that in the UK, about 3 million people actually have that's almost every house have a domain name. As of the last time the statistic was done, I don't know about now. Maybe it could be more, because it's an enforcement that every house you must have a domain, and it must be a country code top level domain. We talk about the country code top level domain. This is the domain that is endorsed by the nation, the government of the nation. Like in Nigeria, recently, the organization that is in charge of the internet registration, which is NERA, they have made it that okay, every business that wants to even that want to operate in Nigeria, you must operate on the country code top level domain, which is .ng. There's the global domains, which is .com, the .org, the info the general ones that we are accustomed to, for those of us that are domain name savvy and all that. But when you talk about the country code top level domain, it's the one that a country has endorsed for its citizens to operate with, and there are benefits attached to this one, you understand. So when we talk about domains, it's very important for us to have domains for our businesses. Now, aside the domain, um, there's also something called the website. Now we're talking about social media. We're talking about social media. Now, one of the limitations of social media is that one of the advantages of social media is that you can use it as a means of communicating with your customers that you will harness from your website. Now, when you have a website, you can link your social media to your website so that whenever a customer has a complaint, they can reach you directly and relay their complaint so that to you. Now, your website is much more than just a domain. It's much more than just social media. Now, when you have a website, day in, day out, anybody can visit your website and then they see whatever you do and then they, you know, patronize you. You can, have the statistics, know, who and who visit your website. You can actually have the statistics to know, okay, what do people want most? You can do it on your website. And then you can actually integrate a payment gateway. Just that's what companies like Jumia and the rest that sell things online. It's called the e-commerce website. Now, whenever somebody wants to purchase something, they just come, they click, they go add to carts, then you can integrate the payment system so that whenever they are done with their shopping, they just go straight to the payments, the checkpoint, check out, make the payments. Yeah, there are payments gateways that you can actually, integrate, such as the Paystack, PayPal, the Skrill, and the rest of them. Now, when we talk about payment, your payment must be secure because if a customer comes to your website and the person is defrauded, you're going to be in serious trouble. So you must integrate a secure payment gateway. Thankfully, most of the gateways that we have, such as the Paystack, the PayPal, they are actually really, really secure. So you can explore such avenues. But one of the importance of websites is that it helps you to be able to organize all that is happening in your business. Now, when it comes to web hosting, the web hosting can be of different type. You can have the shared hosting, you can have your full server. Your server is your like maybe a workstation where all your data is, including all you sell, all your accounts, all your you know documents, the designs that you have. That's where you actually store them in. It could be a laptop, it could be a server. Now, when you talk about web hosting, well, I'm just going to talk about shared hosting because that's whenever you have whatever, like when you want to start a business, you should have an idea of what you want to do. If I say I want to do an engineering business, I should have pictures, I should have data of everything that I'm doing. By the time I finish or with this aspect, I now get to the fact that I can get to the part of the my pictures and whatever it is. I must have them stored on a system. Now, whenever you do this and you create a website, you're not still online. You must do a hosting plan because it is the hosting that allows whatever you're doing to be seen online. Like take for example, if you type www.google.com, you see that something comes up. Now you're only able to see that thing because there's a hosting plan attached to www.google.com. Somebody has created a website as simple as that, but you can search for anything in this world and you will find it just because someone actually, did a hosting for that. Now, whenever you have a hosting plan, you all you have to do is have all your data in on a system. When you have your website, you link your hosting to your website. Wherever service provider that you choose, they will be able to link your website to a hosting plan, so that by the time people come and they type your business name, it shows online. So this brings us to the importance of you know coming online. Now, when your business is online, you don't have to wait for people to come to your shop. You understand? You can just be in the comfort of your house. You can make your money. You can make whatever amount you want to make, and nobody stops you. Nobody can, nobody can come and harass you because it's your business and people are actually patronizing you genuinely. You understand? It's not fraud, it's nothing. It's just coming online with your business. It's coming online to offer value. The only thing that will not be tolerated is when your website is showing, you know, illicit images and all that. That's why we need to have security. Another thing feature that we need to go for when we're talking about websites is SSL. SSL is what secures your website. A lot of when you type and you see HTTP alone, you see that that website can actually be hacked by online, criminals. But when you have HTTPS, it's secure, it's encrypted. It doesn't allow for, any criminal to hack your system. You understand? So another thing you have to go for again, there's a lot. There's a lot because when we talk about cybersecurity, that it goes a lot deeper than just securing your website. Or a lot of times there's, like, I heard of this technology where you can actually clone an email address. What if somebody clones an email address and comes and sends you an email and then hacks your website? So these are some of the things that we need to be careful about when coming online. But basically, we are looking at the requirements for bringing your business online. So, and this is where I'm talking to. You need a website, you need a domain, you need a web hosting. So the next time you see someone asking you, okay, do you have a domain? It's not something that you can actually hold. It's something that is a service. When we talk about service, when we talk about product, there's a product and there's a service. You understand? So your domain, your web hosting, your website, they are all services that should be rendered to you in order to make your business thrive online. So the next time, I hope with this that you've gained a little insight on how to run your business online. You need a domain, firstly, you need a website, and then you need a hosting plan. Thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you in the next session. Thank you.